Ian here for IrishBoxingCom with the machine, David Ryan. David, in complicated times like this, a fight was supposed to happen in Waterford and an unfortunate event happening. But listen, it looks like you're staying positive and you're still happy, but how are we?
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, look, it's boxing. Boxing's a strange old business, but what can we do? Look, I'm still training. I'm still hoping something could be arranged and I can still fight in the card. So get on, get over it, that kind of way. But
Yeah,
it
yeah,
is what it is.
yeah. Talk to me. The last time I seen you, you were getting stitched up after probably a fight of the year contender 100% against Tony McGlynn. The Mayday mayhem that ensued after was absolutely unreal. Something I've never seen before in boxing. But listen, that's the sport that we are in. But how are you? How have you been since then? Obviously, no fights, and then this big opportunity appeared.
Yeah, I've been absolutely fantastic. I was back training fairly soon after the fight. Kind of took a hold on sparring with the cut and just being more clever than normal. Kind of, I didn't want it to open up again. It has opened a few times in the past from fights, so it was the last thing I needed was another cut. So I kind of took the clever approach and rested with the sparring. So kind of actually focusing a lot more on the clever parts of boxing, more pad work, bag work, running, get my cardio back, get my strength up. So
Mm.
all the behind scenes apart from sparring I've been doing week in, week out. So like
Yeah,
I'm super fit. It's the closest I've ever been to a fight weight without a fight in the pipeline
yeah,
in since I've been about 14 or 15, I think.
yeah. So,
So,
was there any other dates that you were looking at after Mayday Mayhem that came about but just never ensued at all? Or is that just it? Just no, this was the first date that came up since.
uh no, there's been a few things in the pipeline. The Dana White fight card in the Tree Arena, I was offered a fight in that, and I was like, yeah, no problem at all. And then nothing came about of it; it just fell apart. So I didn't really mind because it was still very early from back training and no
Yeah.
sparring and all. So everything was just kind of perfect coming up to this fight.
Mm.
Well, meant to be this fight, but it was just being clever more than kind of rushing things.
Mm.
So that's all.
Yeah.
But there was a few kind of things, but it just never came to light.
Yeah. I was talking to your manager Ian Gaughran, and he said we're still game, title or no title. David Ryan wants to fight. Is that still something that goes and you stand by that?
Oh, 100%. I don't give a shit about titles. Even
Yeah,
that BUI Celtic title. I didn't even want to
yeah,
fight for that. I just
yeah,
wanted to fight.
yeah. And it was
Do you
that
know
that
what?
was just a title that was just there, and you said, "Listen, if it's there, it's there. I've gone."
Yeah, 100%. I've had 4 rounds, 6 rounds, 8 rounds. Now I want a 10 round fight. I
Yeah,
really want to push on. Like I know I'm fit enough to have a 10 and 12 round fight. So
yeah,
do you know what? Let's get me in them fights. I,
yeah.
I couldn't give a, I couldn't give a shit about title.
Yeah, because if you like if there was a 12 round fight offered to you tomorrow morning, I guess you'd take it without doubt.
Oh, 100%. I'm fit enough to go 12
Yeah,
rounds, no problem.
yeah. Have you been 12 rounds before, or have you been them into them long rounds before in your previous martial arts career?
Yeah, I have. I think I've had two 10 rounds and I've had one 12 round, maybe two 12 rounds. Yeah, so
You're
I'm
well
no
equipped.
stranger to it.
You're well
Yeah,
equipped with it
yeah.
for. Yeah,
I'd be well ready to go, no problem. I've been saying it from day one. Like
yeah,
someone turned pro recently, I think it was last year. Sometime this year,
yeah,
and they stood off for a 6 round fight. I was like, hey, how come I wasn't allowed to do that?
yeah.
But look,
Paul
it is.
Luman. Paul, I think that was
Yes,
Paul. Yeah,
yeah,
Paul
yeah. So I was
Luman.
like,
Yeah,
I want a 6 round straight away, but
yeah,
hey, my career started
yeah.
before that, so
Have you talked at all to Tony McGlynn since, or have you made any contact at all with the McGlynn team since that
no,
absolute mayhem of a war of a fight?
no, I would have had no contact with Tony McGlynn previous to this fight, so
Yeah,
there's no difference in that.
yeah,
Wish him all the best in his future and whatever he's doing after that
yeah,
fight, but it's boxing for you.
yeah. Look, listen. On the good terms, if December happens and all things go well, what's the plan after? Like, what happens in 2025 for David Ryan?
Uh, Look, I'll take whatever comes. Move up the rankings, get a BUI or EU title fight, the European title. You know, if you win the Irish, fight for the European after that. Obviously, maybe have a fight or two between that if nothing's coming about. But really up the rankings again. Like, you know, I don't want to be sitting around staying and, you know, having stupid fights for no reason.
Yeah.
Do you know, I want fights to actually mean something, and you're actually getting out of bed in the mornings to go and train, work your ass off. Do you know, that kind of way.
I say that again. I don't touch on it a lot, but I say that Mayday Mayhem fight was really one that you can put into the books and be like, yeah, no, that was a scrap. That was one that I'm gonna look back on. You know,
like I know I can fight, and like I love being in a dog fight. Don't get me wrong, I can box too.
Yeah,
a lot of people, okay, everyone on my side knew what I'm about, but like, because I'm coming from kickboxing background, they're all training with Pete Taylor, you know, they're elite boxers and all this. So I don't think I was given a fair crack and a fair chance. So I'm glad I beat, as Jay and all them were saying, an Irish amateur boxing champion. Irish amateur boxing, or any amateur boxing to pro boxing, they're two worlds apart. It means
it's two different sports.
Totally. Look at Ben Whitaker last weekend. You know, he was fighting a nobody again, like, and it just shows, like, it means not having an amateur background. Now it's great and it stands to a lot of people, but some people it doesn't make a difference to.
Yeah. And like, you're the type of guy that seems like you're going to fight anywhere, and any person. That's just how it is with you, you know.
I'm a fighter. Like, I think, you know, I want to fight. That's I'm training my ass off week in, week out to fight. So you know, it's like a soccer player going soccer training every week. Yeah, they're doing it to play a match. You know, so
have you had any previous contact with Senan Kelly at all, or is this fight was handed to you? It's like, listen, if it's there, I don't really know Senan, or I do know Senan, or
I do know Senan. Me and Senan are actually killing up. We get on well, so there's no bad blood between.
Yeah,
there's no badness whatsoever. There's none of that shit. We're both winning to fight, you know. So that's it.
Yeah. Like, how was the fight made? Was it just a text in between you two, or was there managers that would contact each other, or?
So the fight was meant to be made a couple of times. The first time I was actually out injured with my hand, and I was out for maybe 9 to 10 months.
Okay.
So the fight never happened over that, and then he was meant to fight someone else, and that never happened. The show was called off. Then, I was actually just back from injury, and he fought Tyndall, is it?
Tinklin, Jake Tinklin.
Yes. Yeah. He fought him for the belt, and then it never came up again after that, really. And then I got a message one day to fight Tony McGlynn, and I was like, I'm game. I can literally send you the text messages of it. And he's like, how about Tony McGlynn this date? Blah, blah. I was like, I'm game. That's all I sent to Ian. And then that came off, and then there was a few things of that show I wasn't happy with, but I won't get into that and make fucking a dick of myself and all that. But the Friday night in Dublin, it's just crazy. I don't know why they can't do it on a Saturday night. It doesn't work. I don't think it works for most boxers apart from the Dublin ones, you know?
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, and with the result being called out wrong and all that, I was kind of like, you know what, I'm not fighting on this show again. And a lot of my fans that came from Shannon up with me saying they won't go to if I'm having another fight in that show. Yeah. Which is, it's understandable. Like, you know, a lot of people thought I lost from watching it online, and everyone on live streams and all that, they were kind of like, oh, did both of you get a belt? One for the winner, one for the loser. So it's kind of, it was a bit shitty that way, but like, that wasn't obviously, you know, it happened. There's nothing I can do about it now. But then we were offered a fight on the 5th of October to fight Senan for the Irish title, and I said, I'm game, yes, whatever. I woke up the next day and it was announced for the 4th in the Red Cow again, which I was told it was the National Stadium was going to be going on. And then I woke up the next day and I was kind of like, this is not what I agreed to. So I was like, yeah, I'm not fighting in the Red Cow. it's a Friday, it doesn't work. I actually run a boxing club, so like I'm giving up classes. It's just crazy, and like all these lads are losing out in training because I have to go up there on a Thursday and I'm away Friday. So it's kind of like, yeah, it's not working. So
Yeah.
Then I was offered the fight in the Conlon show. Ian actually rang me. I was on the way to the bank. I'd say it was a 30-second phone call, and then the fight was done, and that was it. It was arranged. And then I was on the way home on my lunch yesterday. Was it yesterday? And
yes, 2 days before. Yeah, 2 days
so
before.
I actually had a voice note from Senan saying, I take it you heard what happened. I texted him back, I actually don't know what's going on, or I didn't hear anything.
So it was a day ago. Yeah, I'm just looking at my records here. It was a day ago, and we posted at IrishBoxingCom due to reasons out of control. Unfortunately, David Ryan versus Senan Kenny is now off. Won't be on the round versus McKenna undercard.
Yeah, so it was literally, I was on the way home to do an interview with All Thing Boxing, and when I came off that, I had a couple of notifications on Instagram that I was tagged in, and I was kind of like, what the hell is this? So I actually didn't have a clue what's going on. Now I know bits of what's going on, but that's it.
Is there anything that you can say publicly at all that about the situation?
I just think it was a paperwork issue. That's all I've been kind of told. So.
Okay. And just one final question too, if anyone's looking at, and especially if Senan Kelly or anyone in your division is looking at this, can you give those lads one final message to say, anytime, any place, anywhere, if you get me, you're still game, anything along those lines?
Look, I'm game. I'm a boxer. I'm here to fight. If it's not the Irish title, or it's a 10-round fight, like it's the same thing. I don't give a shit about titles. Especially like when it's a BUI Celtic or it's an Irish title, they don't really hold a lot of value anyway. So, let's just have the fight. The belt means nothing.
Yeah.
So
boxing's boxing in your mind.
Yeah, like there's going to be a winner at the end of it. So if you get a belt, you get a belt. You don't. So that's it. That's the way I look at it.
Senan, David Ryan, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. As always, really appreciate it.
Thank you.